Sessions of View of the Light. I am on my phone and not comfortable, but I am so glad to be here because we've got a great show. Rhonda and I have one of our favorite people today, and we are so proud to share her with you. So share out the show. Go to YouTube, put a like on it, subscribe, share out the show, because if you have ever been bothered by allergies, and I raise my hand, and if you have abundance blockages, I raise all my hands. Marla Torres has been embodying the cure, or maybe I don't know if you call it the cure. You've been embodying what it means to get beyond this, and that is so admirable. And I am proud. Welcome to Spirit Sessions.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here with y'all again.
Oh, you sound great, Marla. You look great. You look so happy. I can remember maybe there was a time in your life you didn't look happy and didn't feel so great. But that was all changing at that time. So let us know how you've come to this journey. This is so cool. So
Yeah, it's true. I think I've always been able to put a smile on, but you can always see in people's eyes, right? Like truly, there might be a smile, but when you look into their eyes, you can really see how they're doing. And yeah, the road has not been a bed of roses, but I'm grateful for every part of it because it's all been a catalyst for my growth and just expansion and getting me to where I am now. Like if you had told me 5 years ago that I would be living in Tennessee and, having this amazing life, I would have been like, yeah, right, you got the wrong girl. Like, no, I don't see how that could happen. So yeah, I've done a lot of healing around what really prompted my healing was after my daughter was born, about a year and a half into it, being postpartum. I was like, I'm still feeling like my hair's falling out. I'm feeling just really tired. I could barely get up off the couch to take care of her, and like having all these symptoms. And I'm like, kind of are postpartum symptoms, but I think they should be gone by now. So after doing some more testing and stuff, they gave me a diagnosis of Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And even though I was very deeply entrenched in Western medicine at the time as a critical care nurse, it didn't feel right to me. Like I never claimed that diagnosis. That was not my diagnosis. It is not me. And so I set out on how to heal myself from it because I really truly believed that I could. I just didn't know how at that point. I was, still just didn't have the knowledge, and so I started on this path of really finding myself again and really getting to some really deep traumas that needed to be healed. And I found that our bodies display physical symptoms as a result, more often than not, as a result of emotional traumas. And so when you can put band-aids on it with pharmaceuticals or what have you to try and minimize the symptoms, but you're not really getting to the root of the problem. And so I started doing the work to get to the root of the problem, the roots, the many roots of the problems. And that's when I started really noticing the shift. But it came with also some really big life changes. And, right now we're in this eclipse season, and that's a really powerful time for having these kind of life-changing things happening, right? And so I've had so many of those happen over the years, from getting divorced, from going through bankruptcy, from moving from New York to Tennessee, like so many huge moves that I just knew I needed to do for my growth and my healing. And I can say today that I am no longer on pharmaceutical medications for my thyroid. I have healed myself tremendously. I take some supplements, but between diet and supplements and healing, and it's just been really incredible to see and to witness. I mean, it took time. I don't suggest you just go stop your pharmaceutical medications, but just to know that there is hope, that it's not a life sentence. You don't have to be on them for the rest of your life. You can heal. I truly believe you can heal. If you are willing to do the work, you have to be willing.
And you come from the standard medical background, right? You were an emergency room nurse, and you're still working.
Yeah, I was ICU nurse. Yep.
Like the top of the top, right? That's the top tier.
Yeah.
That's That's the one you want. You would want Marla as your ICU nurse.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think I think I was a good ICU nurse, definitely. But yeah, because so that was what was so, I think, a little bit more challenging for me because I was so like, well, that's not the way I was taught, in nursing school, and that's not what I was seeing practiced. And so I would get some flack from my coworkers because like, well, that's not Western medicine, and I'm like, I know, but look at me now. It
Yeah,
worked. You don't have to. I mean, I believe pharmaceuticals have a place, and Western medicine has a place. I personally feel it's more for emergencies, but everybody can utilize it as they need it in their lives, but it doesn't have to be the only way. And there's other ways to help heal yourself and really um, purify your system and just clean your system and energetically, physically, all spiritually, all of it. So
Yeah, I always think that Western medicine's like the mechanics that come in when you have a problem,
right.
but the maintenance on your vehicle is what really keeps it going. And that's what I
Yeah.
think the whole healing part is about, maintenance of clearing every day and cleaning up the old stuff, doing the oil changes, doing all the other stuff you need to do for yourself.
Exactly.
And just keep learning to keep this part, the engine of our body, moving
Mhm.
properly, right? I
Yeah.
don't know. That's my kind of thing.
It's a great analogy, Rhonda. It really is because, um, I mean, those of us who own cars, we know if you don't do the maintenance, you don't take care of it, stuff goes wrong, and then you're spending even more money in the mechanic's office. And it's the same matter if you don't take care of your physical body, then you're spending more money in the doctor's office. And it's like things things can be prevented prevented for sure. Yeah.
I just have one more comment. Your hair looks beautiful. Like,
Thank
it's
you.
so thick and so healthy looking. Is that
Thank
part
you.
of what you've been learning how to do and what you've changed, and how, like, it always shows up in her hair, right? It always shows
Right?
up in her hair.
Yeah.
And, shows up in her emotions, and it shows up in her hair, dis-ease in her body. I think our hair, because it grows so fast, also
Yeah.
responds quickly to both, quickly. So your vitality really shows in your hair.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely have seen a big difference in, hair, skin, nails, all of that. Like it's definitely improving. There's still some areas to work on, and I'm, it's par for the course. I didn't quote unquote get sick overnight. So, the traumas and stuff happened and keep happening. Like we still experience stressors, right? We still experience things from day to day, even that can contribute to dis-ease in our bodies. So, but when you really can focus on just caring for this temple, and because it really is, our bodies are these beautiful temples, and yeah, it does make a difference. You do see the physical displays of healing also, not just in how you feel inside, but you do see it on the outside too, for sure.
That makes sense. Because you're
Yeah.
coming back to harmony and equilibrium.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
So coming out to what you're speaking to today about allergies and abundance, how are they connected, and what have you learned lately? Because you're always learning. I
I
mean,
am.
you're like, we won't say you're addicted to learning, because I don't think there's such a thing. I think
No.
it's a, you're always curious and always learning and going forward with a purpose, because and then you love to share it with everyone, which is
I do.
wonderful.
Yeah, I think, I know my life path. When I looked at numerology and stuff, it really was indicative of like being a lifelong learner. Like, so I just know
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's just innate in me for this lifetime,
You
like
said
to
it?
just be learning and learning and growing, and sharing. Because I know also part of my purpose and my life path is to be able to be a difference maker, a way shower, and be able to bring and teach new things to people too, to bring into their awareness, right? So you can, I guess, a gardener in this sense too. Like I love to garden in real life. I mean, this is real life too, but I mean in the physical sense of gardening. But in this way, when I learn and then I get to share it, I'm planting seeds. So when it's time for those that receive the seeds to, when they're ready, then it will grow and be, blossom and go from there. But not everybody's ready to hear it, and that's okay. Um, But yeah, so like a year and a half ago, I would say, even when I was still in New York, I was having these allergy symptoms, maybe close to 2 years ago, actually, around the time, interestingly, of when I had decided that I was going to sell my co-op in New York and it was time to move, and had these horrible symptoms, just like the allergies, not only like hay fever type symptoms, but this cough that just wouldn't go away. And I would just cough and cough and cough. And um, talk about sleep deprivation. I mean, I couldn't sleep well. I was trying to sleep propped up or out on the couch or sitting like all these different ways. And it was really exhausting and wearing on me. And I thought, well, okay, maybe once I move, maybe I'll be different. And so then we moved to Tennessee and I still was having the symptoms. And it was just, I didn't know what else to do. I was trying all the herbal remedies, homeopathics, all the things that I knew to try. Um, and I even resorted to pharmaceuticals a couple times. And every time I did, I felt even worse. And I didn't know what was going on. And so finally, earlier this year, I was introduced to Kimberly Carlson, and she received this amazing download, this program is similar to Reiki, how you get attuned to it, but it's energetic allergy healing. And I did a session with her, and initially my symptoms ramped up. And those of you who know, oftentimes of the healing journey, you'll be going along, your symptoms ramp up, then you kind of go down again, and then they ramp up a little bit, and then they go down and even out and heal. Sometimes it's healed right away, sometimes it's not, but more often than not, it's experience an increase in symptoms, and then um, they dissipate. And that's what I experienced. I had about 4 weeks of symptoms that were increased, and then I was fine. Just a
So,
little
like
bit
a
of,
healing crisis, like what we call in Reiki, it's like when you go and clean your house and you pull everything out, and then you
yeah,
go, frig, it looks awful. But then you put it all back and it's all better.
yes, exactly. So once that happened, I was just like, um, I need to take the certification program. I need to become a practitioner. Like, this is incredible. Like, this just changed my life. I'm like, I'm no longer, experiencing those symptoms that were hanging on for well over a year. And I'm like, now if I start to have symptoms, like I have my kits that I can go to and I can muscle test and go through them and see, okay, oh, this is what needs to be cleared. Because there's so many layers. Like you can't clear everything all at once, all the allergies all at once. You just can't because our physical bodies can't handle it. Talk about healing crisis. Like, no, it would be completely horrible. Um, so there's layers, just like in regular energetic healing, there's layers. You go through layers, and you go through layers with the energetic allergy healing to also. So like I muscle test my way through and see what's priority to be cleared, um, and then look and see like how many more can be added that to make it optimal for that client in that session, so that they don't have a healing crisis, so that they can 100% receive the healing. Um, and then it would take subsequent sessions to clear more and more things, but just noticing for me like how that huge difference of just one session, like I was completely sold. I'm like, okay, like I tell everybody, people talk about, oh, the allergies are really bad. I'm like, really? Yeah, mine are. I'm good. Like I healed myself. Like this is good. You don't have to be um miserable. And again, it's like, so allergies aren't just hay fever symptoms. So oftentimes people think, oh, I have allergies. My eyes are itchy, or I have itchy throat, itchy whatever, runny nose, runny eyes, eyes tearing up. That's not only what allergies are. So you can have allergies to anything really. Um, so the allergies are showing you an imbalance, a disharmony where inflammation is in your body, often as a result of trauma. And another testament to this healing modality is, um, so my daughter, like when my ex-husband moved out several years ago, she was still, she's still young, but she was pretty young then, and she couldn't sleep by herself anymore, and she wanted to sleep with me. And so I was like, you know what, it's a traumatic time. Yes, come back, come into my bed. I have a king size bed. It's perfect. It's fine. It's plenty of room. And she just hadn't been ready to move back into her own room for the longest time. And then a couple months ago, she was like, okay, Mom, I think I'm ready. And I was like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So, bought our bed frame, everything, got it all set up. And she couldn't sleep. And I was like, what's going on? Like, she was having such bad insomnia. She couldn't fall asleep. And then on one of our weekly trainings, somebody brought up about you can be allergic to sleep, you can be allergic to their bed. It's like all these things. And I was like, that makes complete sense. She experienced a very traumatic time in her life when she was sleeping in that bed and with those pillows, with those blankets. And now to come back to that, her body was experiencing these symptoms and it exhibited and not being ran the allergy healing for her. Um, and it took several, like sometimes you have to do it, a few times a day, a couple times a day for several weeks. Just, I muscle test to that also to see like how much time would be needed. And so it took a few weeks, but she is sleeping so much better. Like I am just amazed. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would have never, I didn't know. I didn't know you could be allergic to all this
Or
stuff.
is it allergic to the energy, the trauma that's actually trapped in the actual materials in the bed?
So I don't know if it's necessarily trapped in the materials in the bed or if it's just like what's trapped in the body
When
reacting
when it
to that.
sees it.
When it's in contact with it. That's that's how I understand it. And maybe I'm not understanding it correctly, but that's how I understand it is that, when you come
The
in contact with it,
association
it's that
division.
association with it. You have that energy and you're trapped in your cells and your DNA, essentially is really at a cellular level. And so then when you can clear that, um, so that was like super powerful. And even lately she's been experiencing now she's coughing and I'm like, okay, there's something she's allergic to. So I sat and did an allergy clearing for her and it was interesting some stuff that came up because I'm like, antidepressants came up. I'm like, she's never taken antidepressants. But I was on antidepressants before I was pregnant with her, like my first marriage. And so that stuff sticks around in your body and your cells. So, like we transfer stuff to our child when they're in utero. And so that transferred to her. And that was something that needed to be cleared that she was having an allergic reaction to. And so, um,
And
she's
the
been
two things you could see being related, right?
I,
You
c-
could
I,
see,
I can make that correlation, because I'm like,
yeah.
I'm going, wait a second. And also the other thing was antihistamines. I'm like, she's never taken antihistamines either, but I did, prior to delivering her, and so I'm like, okay, that got transferred to her. And so oftentimes things that come up in a session, it may not be something, like I had a client the other day that smallpox came up. They're like smallpox, but that could have been something transferred even from another lifetime or ancestral trauma.
Or our mother's
Yes.
vaccination.
Yes,
Because,
exactly.
well, I mean, I had the scar. You
It was
probably don't. We,
live, right? It
then
was a live vaccination.
Teresa probably has a scar too.
No, I
You
didn't
never
get
got one?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I got them. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it on people that, not older than me by much, but yeah, that have had that little round scar on their
On their arm.
upper
Yep.
arm.
On their
Yep.
upper arm. It's hardly there, but yeah.
Yep.
But it's interesting when you talk about this, how then it makes sense how people grow out of their allergies or all of a sudden they become allergic.
Yes.
I never had allergies when I was a kid. Now I have them.
Yes.
Or they get better or they get worse. And it makes sense because as we heal or don't heal our traumas, it kicks them up and it manifests through allergies. That makes total sense.
And it's interesting too. Another story. So my teacher, Kimberly Carlson, she was saying how she did a clearing for her partner, energetic allergy clearing, and she noticed that he snored. He snored a lot, but that wasn't, something that came up in the clearing per se. But after the clearing was done for him and, everything, the things that she cleared were cleared and healed, he stopped snoring.
Oh, yeah.
So you never know, like, what exactly, like, where, something that you wouldn't necessarily correlate, like, oh, how does that match up? It might not seem to match up to you in our analytical minds, but on an energetic level, there's like a correlation. And then also, think too, like about the meridians, right? Like even if you look at, Chinese medicine, the different meridians and the emotions associated with them and all this stuff, like it goes really deep. Like, and you may not even realize, like, um, now we'll come back to the topic of money. Like, you may not even realize that you have, maybe an allergy to an emotion related to money. And so that's causing a blockage. You may have an allergy to money itself, or to, the credit cards, or to what, you can break it down, how money is um, used today in the different forms. Um, but it could also be the energy around money and how our programming around money. Like we can have all these different energetic blocks um, that are allergies that can be healed and released, and then you can have, like, open up the flow, increase, open up your abundance, and it's just super powerful.
Oh, we want to see a demonstration, don't we, Teresa?
Oh yes, I'm going to do a group. I'm going to do a group healing for sure.
Let's do a group healing, little one, and then we can do another one later on, and you can explain more about what you're doing. And
okay.
If you have
and I just want to pop into quick. I have the Mag Healy running while the show is
What
going.
is that?
So the Mag Healy, so it's a frequency device. So it's running the prosperity program. So it's running with the frequency of prosperity for everybody. So this whole call is being infused with this energy also.
Is it a solfeggio tone, or is it a hertz or a frequency, or is it just a...
It is not, you can't hear it. It's silent. You can't hear it at all. But it's, so like our body, everything in our body has a different frequency. And even our energetic field, our aura, like we have all these different frequencies. So think of kind of like radio waves. You can't see them, but they're there. They're at a certain frequency. So these devices have been programmed by these rocket scientists, essentially, that the frequencies match up with different emotions, different disease feelings. How do I want to say it without like misguiding? So different symptoms that you may be having, it supports your body with that. So when I was also in healing, working with Kimberly Carlson with the Energetic Allergy Healing, I was running also my my personal one on me with the allergy meridian.
That's what that is. Okay.
Yeah, that's what that is. My little
I thought it was your ID card.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So I just wanted to say, like, I have that also infusing just to help the group as a whole. But
it'll work just the same on replay, guys. So
yes.
Or on the podcast if you happen to listen to it when you're going somewhere else. So you can get like a twofer. You just keep putting this part on repeat. So there you go.
Yeah. So that's going the whole time. So we'll start with the heart breath connection meditation. So if you can, go ahead and get comfortable. Close your eyes.
Unless you're driving.
Exactly.
Just a disclaimer for
Yes, a disclaimer. Please don't, if you're driving or doing some sort of activity, don't close your eyes.
Operating heavy equipment, please refrain. Do it on repeat and at a time.
All right, so let's see. I have about 25 minutes in. If people want to come back to the replay to play the healing part over again, go ahead and take a deep breath and close your eyes, centering yourself in your heart. Taking a moment to call back all of your awareness, all parts and aspects of you now. Begin to breathe slowly and deeply, imagining that you are breathing in and out of your heart. Breathe for a 5-second inhale and a 5-second exhale if you can. Now notice a ball of light out in front of you. It is pink. It is pure compassion energy. Begin to breathe this pink light into your heart with each inhale. See this pink light flowing into your heart, lighting up every cell of your heart. With each breath, your heart gets brighter, and this light feels your heart space begin to expand with this beautiful pink light. Now notice a pillar of light forming around your expanded heart space. Extend your pillar of light down from your heart, down through your body, your legs, your feet, connecting into your Earth Star chakra just below your feet, sending it down into the center of the earth until you come into the crystalline core of Gaia, where you will see, feel, or imagine warm golden light. This is the heart chakra of Gaia. Connect your pillar of light into the heart of Gaia, feeling into the connection that exists between your heart and the heart of Gaia. Ground and anchor yourself here now. Now begin to draw this golden love light from the heart of Gaia, the unconditional love and support that Gaia holds for you, back up through your pillar of light, into your Earth Star chakra, into your feet, up your legs, into your root chakra, your sacral, your navel chakra, solar plexus, and into your heart. Seeing your heart expand with the golden love light. Now extend your pillar of light, which is filled with that pink light of pure compassion, and the golden love light from Gaia, up from your heart, now into your higher heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye, your crown, your soul star chakra, which is about 12 inches above your crown, extending your pillar of light up and connect in with your higher self, your I am presence, your divine aspect. Taking a moment to connect heart to heart with the highest aspect of self that you can access in this now moment. Good. Now, as you breathe through your heart, begin to extend your pillar of light up, 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 up past the universe, out as far as you can go, into pure source light, pure creation energy, noticing the pure, iridescent source love light that is all around you. Feel yourself anchored into this light and allow yourself to soak in that pure source of source energy, feeling the connection that exists between your heart and the heart of Creator as you breathe. Now begin to imagine that iridescent source love light flowing down your pillar through your chakras and into your heart, seeing your heart expand with all of this light now. Noticing how all of this light in your heart together creates a beautiful rose gold light. Notice how with each breath, this light is expanding to fill every cell of your body and all of the space in between. See your whole body glowing with this rose gold light. Good. Noticing now how as you continue to breathe through your heart, this light is expanding out beyond your physical body, filling your entire toroidal field so that you are in the center of a ball of light that is about 12 feet in diameter and is filled with this rose gold light. Take a moment to imagine or feel how bright all of this light is within you and all around you. Feel how loved and how supported you are in this sacred space. Holding the intention to stay anchored in all of this light, anchored into the fifth dimensional Gaia grid, grounded and connected into all of this light as we move through the rest of this session today and as you move through the rest of your day. I invite you to go ahead and come back to this space. You can wiggle your fingers and toes, open your eyes.
I want to stay there.
I know, isn't it? It's so beautiful. I like to stay in that space too. Oh. All right, so we'll start with running an energetic allergy clearing. We'll actually run a few of the other programs. There's sacred light purification, sacred light flush, and sacred light defrag. So just purifying the energy, flushing out anything that is no longer resonating, and then the defrag is really just like calling back all parts of you to yourself. And then you know what? I think I'll run also relationship trauma release and harmony, peace, and balance restored and resolving inflammation. Those will also be very supportive with clearing out any allergies around money. Okay, we shall start. In divine love and light, run sacred light purification, sacred light flush, and sacred light defrag. Creator, change it. The yawns help with the energy, help the energy kind of clear and move through. In divine love and light, run relationship trauma release, harmony, peace, and balance restored, and resolving inflammation. Creator, change it. In divine love and light, run an energetic allergy healing for money, all forms of money in our current economic system. Heal these allergies and our relationship between all of these allergies and everyone listening on the call now and on the replays. Creator, change it. Anchoring this healing in now, anchoring it into your heart and high heart, mind and higher mind, anchoring the healing into your cells, your DNA, RNA, into your nervous system, into your Earth Star chakra, into the heart of Gaia, into your soul grid, and into all 12 dimensions now. Creator, change it. And there we go. Yay, you're yawning too.
Oh,
the
yeah.
energy.
It's kind of contagious, but yeah, for sure.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And then you can listen. Let me muscle test how often to listen. To come back and listen to that. So
how do you muscle test?
So I'm doing with these two fingers.
These two? Oh, those two? Okay.
These two.
These two.
Okay. On my right hand, my dominant hand.
Okay. And then you just pull through, or?
No, then like a yes, it goes down, and a no, it stays firm.
Oh,
stays firm. Yes goes down. So you would like ask, is my name Marla? Yes. Is my name Teresa? No. Is my name Rhonda? No. It won't go down. It's fun to play with. Yeah, you can do it that way, but with the energetic allergy healing, we have these kits, and so like I go down through the pages, and so I'm testing like as I'm going through,
so
yes, no, whatever.
Faster.
So it's faster than just sitting there doing this or using a pendulum. You can use any of those methods, whatever, or do your leaning forward and backward and all that. But yeah, she taught us this one. Yeah, this one is just it's faster. You can move through because there's hundreds of things that we were attuned to clear out. So yeah. All right. So is it optimal to listen more than once a day? Yes. 2 times a day. Is it optimal to listen more than 2 times a day? No. So 2 times a day. Let's see for how many weeks. More than 1 week? Yes. More than 2 weeks? Yes. More than 3 weeks? Yes. More than 4 weeks? Yes. More than 5 weeks? No. So 5 weeks. 2 times a day for 5 weeks. And what I can do also after the show's done, I can do a separate audio recording of the meditation and the clearings. And then if you wanted to post it, like can you attach it in maybe in the comments or attach it like where you upload?
Sure, I can attach it. We can do a separate one. And after the show, if you have time, I'll do a quick StreamYard and we'll do another quick one. And
just so that it can have it a little easier to access to re-listen.
Yeah, I can put it in our podcast. They can go right to there and just listen to the energetic clear podcast. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
You can do that. Yeah.
Awesome.
We can figure it out. Yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
we can, for sure.
Yeah.
That way they don't have to, listen to the whole
We don't
program.
even have to.
Okay.
So I figured it out. Never mind. I
Okay.
can make a clip from the StreamYard and do that. Just
Oh,
isolate out the
perfect.
clip. Yeah, I can
Perfect.
isolate it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Look at you, Rhonda.
Yeah, I figured it out. They tell me. So yeah, they're smarter than I am. So. Okay. So do you want the whole? Do you want us to listen to the whole meditation and then the clearing? Is that the best way to
Yes.
do it?
That would be the optimal way. So going forward, so the next time you listen to it all like in stillness, like being mindful how we just were on the call.
Right.
But then subsequent listens can be while you're sleeping. You can put it on right before you go to bed and fall asleep and let it just play out. It
Into
can
your
be,
brain.
while you're washing dishes or doing whatever, working, whatever you're doing. You can be doing other things. Just, I would invite you to, if you don't have time to listen to the whole heart breath meditation, just at least to come down into your heart space or really just be in that, be present like that while you're doing whatever you're doing, and then having it play. Because it'll still, it still works on an energetic level, still going to your higher self and all that.
And that was only about 10 minutes. And
Yeah.
so from 25 to 35,
Yep.
if people are looking for the timestamp. So from
Yes.
about 24 and a half to 25 to 35 minutes.
Yes.
So 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Yeah. So it doesn't take long, and that's for optimal effect. And then if you you forget and you only listen once, it's not the end of the world. It's still working. It's just not working at the optimal strength for you. So I mean, optimal is twice a day for 5 weeks. But if you miss some sessions, just extend your time, the weeks, add an extra week or whatever to make up for it, to get it all in.
And you call that, what would you call that? If people, when people come to contact you and they say, we want what you did, what would you say?
It's an energetic allergy healing session.
Energetic allergies. And you do those appointments now, right?
I do. I have 1 hour sessions that I do. They are usually $297 a session, but I have an Equinox special for listeners of the show for $97 a session.
That's very, very, very good for an hour of
Yeah.
your time. And it works over Zoom, it works over StreamYard, it works on because it's energetic, right?
Yes, exactly.
It works. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's so powerful. And it's like, even if somebody doesn't have the time to sit with me for an hour, that's fine. You can still sign up for a session for the same price. And I would just do everything, connect with your energy. There's an intake form. It's pretty simple, not very big. And just to give me some extra insight into where to feel into with the clearing. And then I would just run it all, send the audio, and then they're, along with the instructions, and they're good to go. So, because I know some people are just too busy for an hour session, and I get it. Life is busy. So there's also that option. You don't have to sit on the video with me the whole time for an hour. You just would grant me permission to tune into your energy, and I sit with your energy and do all the stuff on my own for an hour.
Hi, Melinda. You're going to have to go back and watch the replay, and especially from 25 to 35 minutes, and do this energetic clearing. Or you can wait. I'll be putting it on the podcast this week. So that's awesome. And so what else do you offer? I know you have your malas, which are beautiful Christmas gifts.
Yes, my Tantric Malas. They are so beautiful and powerful. Teresa has hers on too?
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
I always wear it. Can you see the pretty colors?
Yeah.
I have to, Marla and I have to get together. I have to give one of those to myself this year for Christmas.
Yay!
Yeah.
they're so incredible. I love making them, and just being in the energy, and I pretty much always have one on except for when I sleep, because then it gets tangled up.
Yeah, it's kind of long.
Yeah, a little bit long. I can usually double them, I can double them, but still, then it's like choking me, and I'm like, yeah, no, let's just, take a break.
Sometimes too much. Yeah, it's almost like you take a break from the too much crystals around you. Like some I have to keep out in other rooms, but yeah.
Exactly.
Seriously. Does this work on pets as well?
Oh,
yes, it does. just like, you can do Reiki on pets too. You can do the energetic allergy healing for pets, which is really incredible. I haven't, my pets haven't really been
They don't have
displaying any
trauma.
weird symptoms. I'm sure they have trauma, but it would actually be fun just to run it, just even though they're not complaining of anything, and just see what comes up for them. That would be a fun exercise to do.
Maybe for
Just
plants too.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
bet.
I'm sure.
I think
Yeah.
plants absorb a lot more trauma.
Yeah.
But you can always do it on one of your trees, that was looking like it needs some help there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I know I have with the Healy too, the Mag Healy that I'm running the prosperity frequency program on right now. There's a program on there for plants. And so I'm like, I try to run that every day if I can for my plants. I'm like, let's just give you some extra so you'll be all just vibrant, vibrant and happy in my home.
So cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What else is going on? I mean, we're hoping for things in the future, collaborations. We'll have to see how that goes. But what else is going on in your life that you want to offer people? Have you got some classes coming up or anything like that? Or you do mentorship?
I don't have anything yet class-wise. I have offered Tantric Mala making workshops in the past, and I would like to bring that back. I think once, I know we were talking a little bit before the show, I'm hoping to be moving, hoping to be moving in the next 30-ish days. So it'll probably be after that, maybe even after the new year, sit down and just have a space set up and just do it, because it's, obviously not everybody can be in person, but I've done it also just over Zoom, and so I'll just set everything up, all the cameras, and so everybody can see what I'm doing too. But I think there's just something really powerful about making your own also, so that's an option too, Rhonda.
Yeah, you're
If
going
you
to have
wanted
to
make
record that. You're going to have to record that, and
yes,
and then we can just have it ongoing so people can just take it and
yep,
order
exactly.
that and order the kit.
That's what yes, that's perfect. So thank you for reminding me of that, because that would be actually the most beneficial, just to have it pre-recorded, ready to go, and then people can always message me if they reach a hiccup at any point in the process, and I can help with guidance and troubleshooting. But no, that's perfect. So I'll put that on my list after the move, because I could even do that. I can do that at any time then.
Yeah, you do the class and then you record it and then you can it with your and then everybody can do it later on.
That's perfect. Thank you, Rhonda.
No, that's okay. No, they just I wish I had all these ideas for myself. Anyway, Teresa, you've got some questions. Do you feel any different? I'm just wondering. Anybody feel any different after that? Anybody's watching?
I feel like I don't know how to call it, like new life. I feel like a newness. So at least there must have been an exchange, like a moving out of the old and a new. So I feel like new hope. And I got a picture, but I haven't really worked on it. I don't know if I could show you on the phone.
Let me bring you up big. Just give me a second. I'll bring you up big. Yeah.
Like an eye with the sun above it, and I just work with it, but the rays coming off the sun, they were all within the healing. So I don't understand, but that's the image I got when I was feeling the healing going on in the freeing.
That's so cool.
The freeing.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's so awesome. Cool. Yeah, like it was a lightening of your energy, more optimistic is the way I feel. More optimistic. That's way. Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah. Got to smile. Oh, let's see what Nancy says. I'm going to show what Nancy says. I got to say, I was kicking in allergy sneezes this morning. I'm breathing better already.
Yay!
Yeah. Or Teresa, that was my hair. That was my hair this morning. I don't think your hair looked like that this morning, Nancy. That's so funny. That's funny.
Oh, that is funny.
You gotta love Nancy. Yeah, she's such a light on this. No, that's so awesome. So the malas, and you also do essential oils. I mean,
I do.
We have the trifecta. Reiki oils, gemstones. Like those are the three things that go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Yes, I agree. Yes, I love I love doing my little mixes and my little potions. It's so powerful. I mean, like, living down here, I had my first chigger experience, and let me tell you, my bug bite blend that I have is magic. I was using that up like
Wow.
crazy to help with the
Chiggers.
itching.
What are chiggers? I'm in
Chiggers
Ontario. We have
are little
ticks.
tiny microscopic little boogers that get in and they bite you and they burrow in and they itch like
Yeah, they get
crazy.
under the skin.
And then you itch them and then they move from that space that you just itched them free from to another spot on your leg, and my legs looked like connected dots.
Oh, so you put the oil on them after the bites and it kills the bugs
Oh,
and
well, that didn't kill the bugs. That just helped with the itching. But what really got rid of them was I had a salt scrub that had bentonite clay and um, activated charcoal. Maybe it wasn't the bentonite clay. It was activated charcoal, the salt, and some other stuff. And I just scrubbed the heck out of them, and that got rid of them.
yeah,
But
and
they
kind of
still itched a little bit
mechanically
after
with them.
that. But that my oils, they're lifesavers. Like even Savannah knows, she'll get a cut or a burn, and I'm like, lavender, and she goes and grabs the lavender. We have it on the ready. It's just like a staple in our home.
So chiggers are in your backyards, or are they on the sand, or where do you find those?
They're in the grass. They're in the
Oh.
grass, like uncut grass. And so I was at a friend's place that is much more rural, and yeah, that was my first
Oh.
interaction. I'm like, I was here for over a year without any chigger interactions, and then they initiated me.
So when you put that oils on, that also acts like a repellent, doesn't it? Or does it?
Yes. Yeah,
That's
it
awesome.
does.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah,
Oils are incredible. I can't say enough good about them. I love them.
Yeah, I use the tea tree and the oregano on my bug bites all the time. So tick bites, hoping that I don't end up with Lyme. But
Yeah.
it's a terrible thing. You guys have it down there too.
Yeah.
But
I haven't got the chiggers, but I did get a tick bite, and it's been a
Did
few
you?
years. It glitches.
yeah, that's why I go
Yeah.
out with tall rubber boots and pants even in the summer. I
Yeah.
look, what are you doing? It's tick season. I'm covered up.
Yeah,
So,
you have to, unfortunately, otherwise, or just be doing constant tick checks, and that's
yeah.
annoying also.
Actually, in the heat of the summer, they're not so bad, but at this time of year, again, they're getting bad again because it's cool and wet, and I like that weather. Chiggers like the hot, dry, right?
Well, that's what it seems to be. Yeah, in the heat of summer.
Okay. Sorry,
Although
enough of that.
Savannah's gotten ticks in the summertime too, so I don't know. They just
Wherever it's wet, when it's wet. If it's dry and you're having a dry, but it doesn't ever get dry in Tennessee, does it? It's always green.
Not really. We were looking at Savannah was looking at the weather.
But the rain comes and the moisture.
It's still humid.
Yeah.
What's the temperature in Tennessee today, you guys?
It's only supposed to be like 69, so it's not. But then
yesterday we got up to the 80s.
We were, yep, in the 80s yesterday Fahrenheit, and then I think Tuesday it's supposed to get up in the 80s again. So we're supposed to get a little bit more touch. Some are saying not quite out of here yet. So
it's like 45 here.
Coming. And it's going to make for tornado juice coming up. So the warmer we are, and that cold air butts against it.
We're getting the cold air. We're not getting we won't get tornado out of it. They say snow flurries north of us. So it's about 40. It's in the low 40s right now. If I convert from Celsius, it was like 5 this morning Celsius. So that's in the low 40s. So
wow.
Don't envy you.
I do. I like the cold weather, and I can really like the snowshoe. That's why I'm going to Victoria next week. So spooky time is coming up for you too. Anything for the plan in Halloween? Do you do anything different at Halloween?
Well, this year I was just to a Mystic Makers Market yesterday, and I picked up a few little spell candles, little tea lights. So I'm gonna on Halloween. That's when I'm gonna light them up. Just really work with the energy while the veil's so thin,
Yeah, when the veil's thin, and isn't that when we welcome our past? I know that in Mexico they go and talk to their ancestors and have picnics on the grave and welcome their ancestors and have those festivals of the ancestors, and people think it's pretty
Yeah,
creepy,
thank
but
you.
it's really nice to, think about your ancestors on
Yep.
Halloween and
Yep.
everybody. It's not, I never think it's that spooky as it's just that awake, you
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
just that awake. We're
Some
going to
people are
Victoria.
afraid of that though, being awake, right? They'd rather just be
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, and we've just had the guy who's investigating. Last week we had a gentleman who investigates the paranormal, and
right.
I think at first it freaked them out, but you get used to it and you realize that there's ghosts and there's spirits, and
Mm-hmm.
ghosts are people that are kind of stuck here, and
Mm-hmm.
spirits, and they're just trying to get your attention. Hey, hey. And spirits are usually your loved ones that come back to just check in on you. So that's always kind of
Reassuring.
comforting. Right?
Yeah,
I find it.
definitely.
Does Savannah dress up, or do they go trick or treating down in Tennessee?
She does, yeah. Yep, she still does. So as long as she wants to, I'm like, okay, we'll keep doing it. So yeah, she's it's like some kind of sorceress this
Oh,
year.
Oh, neat.
does she make up her own costume?
Well, we had gotten it last year, and then she got sick last year and couldn't trick or treat, and it was a little bit
Oh,
big on her, so it still fits her this year. So I'm like,
oh,
yes.
yay.
So we
Yeah.
have a
Yay.
costume, and we have the black cat to go with the costume. But he won't go trick or treating with us, but for pictures.
Well, we'll be in Victoria, out in BC. Apparently, they like fireworks on Vancouver Island for
Oh, really?
Halloween. Yeah, Dave.
Interesting.
Wow.
Dave says he was out there one year helping my daughter move, but this year we're both going out, and so all my kids will be together. It's our
Nice.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, birthday party.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're all getting together on the West Coast because why not fly 6 hours? But it will be a wee bit warmer out there than it is here, so
Mm.
that'll be nice. But it'll be an interesting experience for us. And we'll go on the Ghost Walk tour, which is really a history tour. But Victoria is a very old city, and apparently there are lots of haunted places there.
Very
Hopefully,
fun.
hopefully not the old hotel we're going to stay in, but I guess they have a lot of comings and goings
Oh,
too.
how fun.
Well,
So
you have the tools to be able to help them. You can help just send them to the
Yeah.
light, help them just keep
yeah,
on moving.
I'm going to bring my little Santo Paulo and send them off to the light. Paulo
Exactly.
Santo. Um,
Exactly.
So, anything else you want to tell our people? And I know I put your links in the thing. And Teresa, if you got some more questions for while I set up, do the,
Well, do we give Marla the 3 questions today?
Sure, give her the 3
Okay.
questions. We haven't heard from her for a while. She's all primed for some of them right now.
Yeah.
Sure. So Marla, then you're walking up to the podium and your song is playing. What is it?
Happy by Pharrell Williams.
Ooh, I love it.
Yes.
Can you
I
see if you
know. Savannah rolls her eyes. She's like, "Don't you have another song you like, Mom?" I'm like, "Well, that song, I am happy, so why not? I like
Well,
that song."
yeah, it's a match.
Yes, it is.
And of all the beautiful crystals, it's the hardest to pick a favorite. But lately, which one are you being drawn to the most?
Well, I mean, this is my newbie from yesterday, like that just found me. My
Oh,
rutilated quartz, golden rutilated quartz.
that's it's gold too, eh? So it's like
Yes.
a golden healer rutilated quartz.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I
I
don't.
saw it and I was just like, okay. And she's sitting with my labradorite Ganesha,
Oh,
Oh, that's fantastic.
isn't it? He has
Oh,
a good flash too.
oh, it does have a beautiful flash.
So yeah, they're
Or-
all
you
over
got
here. I
that
have a
snake.
little
You got that
prosperity altar.
labradorite snake.
Oh yeah, that
Yes.
Labradorite snake freaked me out. I thought, I thought it
So
was a real
cool.
snake at first.
Oh,
I thought,
really? I
isn't
can
that
see the
that's a really
flash in
cool
it.
blue snake? Show us that one because that.
It's not right beside me. It's on the other side of my
Oh,
Oh,
other
okay,
side
okay.
of the
Okay, that's all
room.
right. That's
But
all
okay,
yeah,
right. This is
that one
impromptu.
was incredible too.
that's really cool. So that was at the Mystic Market. Yeah, Mystic
Yeah.
Markets are all over. Go and support your local people because woo woo
Yes.
needs to be supported everywhere.
Yes.
So we can bring up the vibration of woo woo. So thank you so much for being with us today. Oh, guess we got one more question though.
Okay, so the third question, Marla, have you had any experiences with other dimensionals? Like, what I'm really curious about is have you, since you've been in Tennessee, have you seen anything interesting.
So I haven't in Tennessee, but when we were in Hawaii earlier this year, I really feel like that was
Remember that.
extraterrestrials. I mean, there just was no rational explanation of what else it could be. I mean, because I was like literally up for hours just watching that horizon, and that those lights just kept
They
like
were orange, weren't
they were orbs, and they were just they weren't quite the same. They weren't the color of the planes coming in, because I saw the planes coming in, and I saw like ships on the horizon, but it was not, that's not what they were. And then there was
They
like
were.
3, and then 1 went away, and then there was just 2, and then it was just 1, and then like hung out, and they like hang out with me, and I could just energetically, I'm like, they're coming to say hi.
You
The
know,
aliens
it's
are
so
coming to say hi.
funny that you like, and they were orange orbs now that I can remember. So it's funny, like it almost took you triggering it to remember that, which is often the way it happens. Like you kind of forget that you saw them, like it's almost intentional that they make you forget. But the orange orbs from, I did a hypnosis regression session with Gary Littleton, and he said, we talked about the orange orbs that I often see, and they are actually beings.
Wow.
They're like sentient ship beings. Like they are all like, they are themselves a being.
Wow.
Not like a ship.
Gotcha.
They're actually a plasma
being.
energy being that comes to visit. And
that makes sense.
Is that like they felt like they were coming to say hi? And
yeah, it did. It felt really good. And then of course I had to get the green alien sticker given the the low thing. So I have the green alien on the side of my car doing a
that's
hang
awesome.
loose.
Awesome. Cool. So welcome to our world. Just keep looking for them on the horizon. I always say that the fall is a really good time to UFO watch, because we're out early enough in the evening and we can see them. The skies are usually clear and it's warm enough that we can stand out there with it freezing our butts off. But it's not cloudy.
I was hoping we would see someone. Because we were stargazing at a farm a couple hours away from us, and it's like literally out in the middle of nowhere, and you could see like Savannah's like, I never knew there was all these stars. I'm like, I know exactly. They're all it's always there. I was hoping we saw shooting stars, but we didn't see any beings. But we were both kind of like, I think we were both okay. Is it going to happen? We kind of hope it happens. Like, it'd be so cool to see, But we were happy for the shooting stars.
We get the flashing lights, like the lights just flash, and then that's like they flash to say hello, or they power up, and like that's all. Like often it goes, there's another one, and sometimes they're really bright flashes, and then they go, they're not planes, because
exactly.
Anyway,
you can tell.
You can tell. I mean, I know, like I've lived on a jetway all my life. I know. I find out when Starlink is. I find out when the space station's going overhead. I'm always saying, no, that's the space station, guys. Don't freak out, because it is pretty creepy when it goes across the sky. But yeah, it just kind of, it's pretty bright, and it just kind of goes silently across the sky. But yeah, Starlink's pretty cool to see too. You're going, what is that? Oh my God, we're being invaded. No, Starlink. So, anyways,
you gotta watch the time, right? For
yes.
making the podcast, we're like.
Yes, when we're good, no problems. And thank you so much for being with us today. I'll explain that to you after, Teresa. And thanks for reminding me. And you guys, thanks. And come watch us next week, Jim Harold on Spirit Sessions via the Light. Take care.